Welcome back, everyone, to the Song of Waves and Wind, where we are back here at the Harbor Warden's Tower in Umbar, where we just finished rescuing Thorongil from the clutches of the Keepers of the Coin, the Kindred of the Coin, or whatever K of the coin they are, and I am now ready to find out what we need to do next. We finished our primary objective, but there could be more to do here. The boy Thorongil has been saved, but I still see a loose thread in the tapestry of evil that has brought him, and all of us, to Umbar. One look at his mother's face reveals it, Pineleaf. No sum of gold or silver could make me dare to cross her, but the kindred of the coins has done so, and she has not forgotten. What does Lady Noriel plan to do next? Well, let us find out what we are going to do. That your son is saved. What do you plan to do?
Half of the job is done, my friend, but the other half remains, and its name is justice.
3 members of the Kindred of the Coins fled deeper into the Citadel of the Winds when my son was rescued. They will not escape us. We must return to the Citadel and pursue them. Azagoth, Belandor, and Nakasi will pay for endangering my son. Speak with me when you're ready to return to that place. Well, let's hope that we don't have 100 guards trying to stop us. Though I suspect that she's not going to let anyone stop her. Right?
My son Thorongil has been rescued, but the Kindred of the Coins will still be made to answer for his capture.
So, what's the plan? The guardsmen are in disarray. They speak of 2 groups, those loyal to Azagoth and those who now question him. We should remain alert for the first, and learn what information we can from the second. Noriel turns her gaze to the great hall, lingering briefly on the fountain in its center. I wish you had waited for me to accompany you before you came here for the first time, Pineleaf. Had you done so, we would not now need to make this venture, for Azagoth's head would already be shorn from his body, and I would be half of the way back to Finneth Galen. But what is done, and that undone remains undone. Let us speak to these women and learn if they support Azagoth or oppose him. Alright.
This way.
Well, water carriers? They're not going to bother us, right?
Have you brought doom upon us?
Do you serve Azagoth Sea Shadow and his kind? If not, you have nothing to fear from me.
She speaks not of you, Gondorian. She speaks of the terrible spirits that rose from the fountain.
Oh, those. When we aided you, we did not think that you intended to bring Gondorian sorcery to bear against the kindred. We fled when the Corsair made your presence known to Azagoth, but from the far side of the hall we witnessed the terrible creatures as they rose from the fountain. Where have they gone now? Do you plan to unleash them against the city? No, the 5 sisters would not have harmed either you or your friends, and now that Thorongil has been rescued, I don't think she has to worry about them. That is a comfort, but something yet confuses me. If these water spirits answered to the call of Gondor, why were they dressed in Umbari garb? To my eyes, they were dressed as nobles in the city, and not told me the same. Well, that's not how they appear to me. For one thing, to appear many ways is not unusual for these times. The kindred of the coin seems to be one of them to us, and yet Osgoth's words of late have cast another light upon it, a light fell and sickly.
This is the way Osgoth fled. Deeper into the citadel.
All right.
We will open the door for you.
You have our thanks, but I must ask this of you. Why do you help us to reach your master?
His warriors are willing to die for him. I am not. Nor am I. The kindred of the coins saved Umbar from the Empire of Ordak. But I think there was a disease within the kindred, rotting it from the inside. Cut out the disease and heal the body.
Well, let's see. Are you prepared, Pineleaf? We will likely face opposition from those still loyal to Osgoth, and they will seek to keep us from reaching their master and his allies in the kindred. Once we pass through this door, we must let none keep us from finding the treacherous leader of the kindred of the coins. Others of your crew will follow behind to keep Osgoth from circling around and escaping. Now, let us fight. And let's go. Whoops. Well, Osgoth the Loyalist. I think that we'll know how to tell which ones to fight. He went down quickly. Oops. Hey, oops. Let's avoid getting punctured. Remaining unpunctured is the main goal right now. Okay, let's do that. Oh, and let's get rid of that wound also. Oh, because we got archers there. Let's deal with the archers because they are going to be painful if we let them shoot at me unabated. There you go. And now you. Oh, okay. Ah, the wonderful AI algorithm here. The corridor to the southeast descends a long flight of stairs. Osgoth and his allies must have gone that way. Right. Downward. And okay, now you will do this. Okay, let's more now. Oops, Daisy. Hey, how about if we do that? And we'll give our AI companion a chance to catch up. Ah, the joys of the algorithm. Now, where were we? More loyal. Yeah, that's right. Let them come to us. That way she'll have less distance to travel before she... Why is she going that way? Okay. You fire a bow at me, you die. And there you go. Oops. Go back to the point where you were. Alright, what now? Those warriors were guarding the northeast corridor, Pineleaf. They must be going that way. It is curious, but I see no one guarding the passage. Still, we must remain alert. Alright, no one's guarding the passage. Well, I'm sure we'll run into somebody eventually, right? Nobody yet. This way? Oh, yeah. That's quite a... There you go. Ooh, yeah. Let's go in. See how my AoEs work. I don't think they're going to last very long. Oopsie daisy. Now, let's get out. Oh. How does Azgat inspire the loyalty of these? I do not have a good feeling about this. That door leads outside. We must hurry. We can't allow Azgat to escape us. Well, outside then. I don't see any sign of them. No! No! This cannot be! Azagoth and his allies cannot have escaped us! Uh-oh. She's not happy.
Have they escaped us? You there, what did you see?
I beg you, have mercy upon me and my fellows. We had no choice. Nakasi Wave Reaper threatened to skin us alive if we didn't help them cast off with utmost haste. There was a terrible light in her eyes, and I think she would have done it. Based on recent activities, pretty good chance. Belandor's crew is fiercely loyal, and they man the oars without any argument. Even when Azagoth told them their destination, they didn't balk at it as I would have done. Ooh, where were they going? Across the water, stranger. They made for the temple of the All-Seeing. They made it to Bakda Korbo. Oh my.
The Makta Korbo? What do they hope to find there?
Death? For now, they've escaped us, but not for long. If anything, that supports the hypothesis that Azagoth is one of the Gurzel, or something close to it.
Azagoth has not escaped my justice. He has only delayed it.
Even as the water builds in power behind the dam that blocks the river, so would the strength of my vengeance increase for every day that Azagoth remains unpunished. He will regret his flight. But what evils might he find buried beneath Bakda Korbo? I'm not too sure, but it's certainly not going to be a fun place to go. Well, if anyone knows what kind of evils could stir underground in a destroyed place of the enemy, it's Sigalith.
The people of the city believe the Makta Korbo was destroyed.
They believe that it was destroyed in the great earthquake that accompanied Sauron's fall. But you know as I do that such destruction is not always complete. Sometimes something remains. Yeah.
We should travel by land to the outskirts of the temple.
We must travel to the temple and learn that the fleeing members of the kindred have disturbed the ruin. It may be that they seek only escape, but if evils of Sauron do remain beneath that structure, we cannot risk Azagoth coming into possession of them. My brother and I will accompany you. He will not say this to you directly, but privately he mourned to me that you ventured into the citadel to rescue Thorongil without him. The Makta Korbo is to the northwest of the city. Alright, I shall head there. Ah, oh joy. Here it is, the Makta Corbo. And predictably, it is surrounded by dead things. Probably disturbed and run about by the people that we pursue. Well then, let's go and see if we can find... You have discovered Makta Corbo, the Fane of the All-Seeing. Wonderful. Not exactly a place that I really wanted to visit, if you ask me. But we are going to have to deal with whatever we can get. Now, let's see if we can find Sigalith and Corridon. And not over here. Perhaps I passed them on my way here while I was busy fighting the various whites in the area. Ah, there they are. Sigalith and her brother Corridon greet you as you approach.
I have never seen this place before.
When Akasi and Tathada sailed their ships back to Umbar with me and Thorongil aboard, they docked at their hidden harbor south of the city. I had only heard talk of the Makta Corbo and not seen it until today. The structure itself is not as damaged as I had thought it to be. It is not difficult to believe that the levels below the ground may also have survived the great quake that followed Sauron's fall and remain somewhat intact. Wonderful.
There was evil beneath Dol Guldur, and even today, each of my senses are attuned to it.
When the golden host of Lothlorien waged the Battle of the Tower in the forest of Mirkwood, I didn't know of its success until many weeks had passed, and every week felt as long as an age in the darkness beneath Dol Guldur. It was only when you delved deeply into those forgotten passages that I ceased to be she who remains and became once again Sigalith. And that's when I learned that the Golden Host had achieved its victory. But there was evil beneath Dol Guldur, and even today each of my senses are attuned to it. I feel the presence of Sauron's works here at the Makta Corbo, even as I did in the dark dungeons. It's not as strong as it was in the Room of Voices, but still my senses are troubled by the feel of it. Bring me some relics for the dead that walk near the temple, for they may allow me to learn I don't know the precise word to describe it, but this will have to serve. They may allow me to learn the flavor of evil that remains here. Bring me rusty weapons from the steps of the temple, gemstones from specters and spirits, and finger bones from the wights that lurk nearby. What? White finger bones? I didn't think that you would want to drag a bunch of whites over here for my investigation. Just their finger bones will do, though. Alright. So, it appears that I need to kill a few more of these spirits. Speaking of spirits. Actually, I need to collect rusty swords from the steps or something like that. Then, perhaps I should head towards the evil, horrific tower that's this way, instead of away from it. I know. Instinct says to get as far from it as possible. But it's hard to complete a quest when you follow instinct. Alright, here we go. Next! Kutron Spectra. Hold on, what is that? Ooh! Sneaky! Sneaky place to put a treasure cache. New deed. Treasure seeker. The Cape of Oh, wonderful. My first one here. Hey, stop spitting. It's not polite. Just because you're dead doesn't mean you have to be rude, right? Okay, there you go. That's 2 finger bones. Now, let's see if we could find some... Ah! Here's one right over here. One rusty weapon. Let's see. Easiest way to get up there is that way. Now, did they intentionally make that so that it's difficult to get onto the stairs, or is that a result of the earthquake? Who knows? Well, I'm sure there'll be a few more of these around here somewhere. Hello? Evil swords! Ah, here's one right over here. I think all I need is one more knuckle and I will be able to have the information that Siglith requires. You have any knuckles on you? Yes, it does. Now, let's get back to Siglith so that she could tell us what she finds in there. And of course, we'll find out if any of that is actually useful. Maybe more useful than these dark water spirits are that have decided to pester me. Really, why bother? Alright, who's there? That's it? That's all it took?
Did you recover the items I requested?
Yes, these blades are rusty from the salt of the sea breeze and unsuitable for use. Only the dead will wield these. No living servant of Sauron nor the kindred would think to use such weapons, unless there was no other choice. The gemstones are interesting. When such stones as these are found within the earth, they are usually quite clear, but the gems around which these spirits and specters form are cloudy instead. See the shapes that you swirl within foggy depths? That is most peculiar. I can't read very much from these finger bones, but that you have brought to me. No, I don't need you to bring an entire white here to me, as I threatened before. I have learned this, and it is maybe enough. These whites were given motion by spirits of evil. Well, that's nothing new. There must be a great number of such creatures still within the Bacta Corbo, though Sauron himself be gone. Wonderful! Simply wonderful. What do you say about that?
An Umbari woman has been watching us from down the hill to the east.
I do not think that she intends to do us any harm, but whenever I faced in her direction, she quickly busied herself with some unobstructive task. Perhaps you should see if she has any information for us, or at least determine that she means us no ill. Alright, I will go and find this Umbari woman. After I probably had to fight through a spirit or two in order to get there. Hello there.
What purpose brought the 3 of you to the ruined temple?
I have seen elves of the oasis from time to time, when I have gone to the markets of the city to sell my wares, but your companions do not seem to hail from across the desert. I judge that they came from across the bay, perhaps from Gondor? Oh, worry not, stranger. I am no follower of the Church of the All-Seeing, and I steer clear from that temple, as should all goodly folk. Not long ago, I witnessed Azagoth's sea shadow and some of his people disembark their ship at the cove beneath the hill, and I wondered what madness might have drawn them inside. Nothing good, I imagine. Pestilence and plague have troubled Khutra in recent days, and something spoils their fish. After you have halted whatever evil drew you and Azagoth to Pakhtata Corbo, you should return to me, and I will tell you more about those ills. Well, I think I've handled some of them already, but we'll see what else is going on. But for now, let your companions know where Azagoth and his allies disembarked their ship. They possessed evil intent. I'm certain of it. Alright, thank you for the information. She doesn't seem to be a threat to us.
What said our distant onlooker?
Oh, she said that they went inside. Then that is where your road leads, is it not? Cordon and I will guard the path and ensure that none think to flee this way, while you muster your allies and face Azagoth beneath the temple. Wonderful. Who am I going to bring down with me on that?
My sister's thoughts dwell upon the evils that might lie within the Makhta Korbo.
But I need not see them to know that a corruption lies within the very heart of the kindred of the coins. But Azagoth is well loved by his people. Do the folk of Umbar Baharbel know that he has betrayed them? Well, that I don't know.
I do not know which it will be.
Sometimes word travels slowly, and on other occasions it can spread faster than wildfire. Will you return to the upper and lower wards of the city and learn what people are saying about Azagoth, Belondor, and Nakasi? If tongues wag, as I think they will, rumor that the leaders of the kindred fled beneath the Makhta Corbo in search of some evil will not be gladly received. At least, I hope it won't be. Begin your search in the upper ward, for it is nearer. Oh. My path leads there. The only problem is that it's a raid. Well, do we just remember the story, or do you get to see a raid? Well, most likely the former, but we'll have to see that in the next episode of The Song of Waves and Wind.